Hello and welcome to Cozy Couch Corner again. And it's been really nice most of the day. Sunny and warm, bit of wind, but not too bad. Got myself out in the garden this afternoon. And having said I hadn't seen many animals or birds for a while, I saw lots of them today. So many I had to write a list. Well, the other day I said I hadn't seen a red kite for ages, so I saw one today soaring high. And for anyone that doesn't know what a red kite is, it looks like a bird of prey, but it's a scavenger, and it looks very similar to a buzzard, but with a V shape cut out of its tail. And it's not at all red, it's brown. So I don't know why it's called a red kite, and I don't know if there's other colours of that bird. Anyway, I only saw the one. Sometimes there's three of them. And for ages, the young one used to stand on the telegraph pole out the back and screech for its parents. And they do, and they screech. So, so that hasn't happened for a long time. Still get the seagulls shouting and bobbling about and whatever they're doing, stomping about. Saw the cows, which is nice. They're in the far field. In the field behind, this morning there was a murder of crows. Loads of them. Never seen so many on the field. And they were silent, which I always think is a little bit ominous. They weren't chattering like they do. But that was interesting. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were looking for worms or seeds or what, in fact. No idea. Never seen them do that before. Never seen that many of them around. I think the most I've seen before is 12 on the telegraph wire. Oh, saw some white butterflies. Oh, forgot the sparrows. Saw a quarrel of sparrows on the greenhouse next door. They were just sort of bumbling about. I did have to look up what a group of sparrows was called because I couldn't remember. The butterflies, white butterflies, that was nice. A wasp, but it didn't bother me. It was far enough away from me. And grasshoppers, and I think they're called grasshoppers. They're the little tiny ones that make chirpy noises and look like dried grass. And are quite jumpy. They jump around a lot. I get muddled up between crickets and grasshoppers, and I have seen a giant lighter of one a few years ago in my garden. Absolutely huge it was. So yeah, and I probably looked up which one was which, and now I can't remember. But yeah, it was a good day. It's always interesting when there's birds and animals about, so that was good. Let's do the tarot. Okay, what message do you have for us for Wednesday, the 6th of August, 2025, please? We'll see how we go. Interesting. Right. Which I've just thrown on the floor. Interestingly enough, it fell on the floor and I picked it up the way it landed and it turned itself around. So clearly it was not the right way around when it came out of the pack. And that is the 4 of coins. So the 4 of coins can be hanging on so tightly to things that it's not really good for us. And it's not necessarily healthy. And it can prevent other things from coming in if we don't let go. And then the other one that was behind it when the pack split was the 9 of Swords, which is usually, I read that one in this pack as a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what are we hanging on to so tightly that it's not helpful or it's not particularly good for us, that is keeping us stuck, because now I notice the little tiny shadow bird in the corner flying free, but nobody else in the card is free. We need to free it. Whatever we're hanging on to, let go, because we need to be free. We need to fly. We need to move on. So something self-fulfilling prophecy. Often I think about negativity, catastrophizing. What are we focusing on? Are we managing? And sometimes it's really difficult to focus on the positive, focus on positive outcomes, focus on resolutions, as opposed to focusing on disaster. And it's quite difficult in the world at the moment to, especially in some places, to have hope for the future and to have a positive outlook and to see things working out and see things going well. Even just to see peace and calm. But fear is a big manipulator. It's used to manipulate people, keeping people distracted, keeping people in fear, keeping people in chaos. It's really easy to get people to do what you want. So trying to get away from the fear and the chaos in the world doesn't mean we have to pretend it's not happening, but it's not attaching ourselves to it. It's not emotionally attaching. I think it's a healthy dissociation, healthy detachment from things. There's so much yuck that goes on, and especially, I don't know about anywhere else, but in the UK, on the news programmes, I stopped watching the news a long time ago. A lot of abuse survivor groups and mental health support groups, when the Ukraine war broke out, said don't watch the news, because when you're vulnerable and your emotional and your mental health isn't good, that stuff can just drag you right down. And that doesn't mean that we don't care, because we do care what's happening, and we don't want it happening. It's not just that we don't want to see it, we actually don't want it happening. And if you need to know what's going on in the world, then you need to know. But it is training ourselves to have a level of emotional attachment. I know everyone goes on about empaths. If you are very empathic, you feel everything, and it is detaching yourself from that sort of thing, because it's no good for you, and then you get stuck in that energy and you don't want to be in that energy. You want to lift the energy in the world, you want to lift the energy in the community, you want to lift the energy in yourself. And sometimes that's a full-time job, isn't it? Just staying positive, just getting our vibe up so that we can be positive and hopeful about the future and about the situations that we're in, and everything else. So good luck with that. There we go then.